talking about the way you drive it.
I have never driven straight over the island of a roundabout.
It wasn't me. That was Dolly Parton.
Oh. So she was driving your Skoda that evening?
She was on the radio. I got distracted.
Thank goodness she wasn't actually in the car with you. You'd have hit every signpost from here to Winchester.
When are you coming out with me, then?
When the moon turns to cheese. I did ask for strawberries, didn't I?
Yeah, they're on the top with the eggs. You've got people coming for the weekend, haven't you?
How very perceptive of you.
You want a hand up?
Sutton.
It's you.
Yes, I know it's me.
You came to my party the other night with Lionel. You skipped off early.
It was past our bedtime.
You and Lionel are,
Our separate bedtimes. This is my daughter, Judith Alistair.
Hello again.
Hi. Jean, I just can't believe that this is your daughter.
You're not going to say we look like sisters?
No.
We're going to Norwich to hear Lionel's lecture.
Brilliant. That's where I'm going. Well, my day is made. Nothing makes a train journey more enjoyable than the company of a beautiful woman. Yeah, two beautiful women. Well, tell me all about yourself. Where have you been hiding? Why wasn't I told of your existence in the first place?
Yes, the fellow who dropped out was going to talk about rail travel in Russia in the 20th century.
Why did he drop out?
Got knocked over by a bus, poor fellow.
Ironic?
That's what I thought. You'll stay overnight in college, of course. Rooms have a certain Gothic grandeur, even if they are damn draughty.
Oh, thank you all the same, Master, but I'm staying overnight with a friend.
Oh, better still. Nothing like staying with a chum, is there?
Nothing.
Bed and breakfast, you say?
Yes.
There's no sign up.
Perhaps it's in the wash.
Long way out, too. Couldn't you have found somewhere a bit more central?
It isn't really any of your business, is it?
I'm just interested in what motivates people, that's all. It's very interesting. Sometimes, you see, people are motivated by the most obscure motives. Motives they don't even understand themselves.
Are they really?
Cooey! You're naughty, you are.
There we go. Goodbye.
Oh, and there's a space in the wardrobe and an empty drawer for your things.
Thanks.
You didn't ask why you're naughty.
I thought it discreet not to in front of the taxi driver.
Well, you are.
You sure you've got the correct adjective?
6 months and not a word? Not even a postcard?
Denise, we are ships that pass in the night. We don't send postcards.
I wouldn't like to think I was being taken for granted.
I see you put the silk sheets on.
Well, I'm a forgiving sort of person.
Indeed you are.
I bought some chains, by the way. For my garden at the front. Trying to keep those lorries off it. You didn't notice, did you? You don't notice a lot of things. It's as though you only want to see the bit of the world that's around you.
That's true enough. I gave up the global view some time ago.
Too huge.
No, too complicated. I'm not very good with complications anymore.
Well, I'm not complicated.
And I'm very grateful.
Can I come to the lecture tonight?
Well, what on earth for?
Well, to hear it.
If you want to be bored, try reading the telephone directory.
You don't want me to come.
I told the master of the college you were a chum, you see.
Well, I am.
Not the sort of chum I meant.
You're not going with somebody else, are you?
Of course not. I'd hardly stay here and go with somebody else, would I?
There's no telling with you. If I thought you were playing fast and loose...
Denise, at my age, you have to be fast to be loose, and I'm not fast.
I can come to the lecture, then?
If you really want to.
Good. Let's go and have some tea.
Yeah, good idea.
Nothing's happened recently, has it? You know, happened.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
It's funny, isn't it?
Alistair having already booked the same hotel as us.
How did you ever get to be so gullible?
He's rather nice, isn't he?
Yes, in a boyish sort of way.
No, he's not that young. I suppose he's about my age.
Young.
He fancies you.
Oh, don't be absurd.
Well, why did he sit next to you all the way up here, then?
Well, so that he could look at you.
No, he spoke to you most of the
It's
time.
the oldest trick in the world. Ingratiate yourself with the mother.
Oh, now he's being gullible.
All fixed up. Sherry with the master before the lecture, front row seats, and then dinner with the master afterwards.
How did you manage that?
It's being in publishing. Almost everyone you meet intends to write a book one day. All you have to do is express a deep interest in the subject they want to write about, and suddenly they're very accommodating.
May I ask you an impertinent question?
Oh, please. I'd love it.
Lionel's book, why are you publishing it?
Because it's terrific.
I read it last night.
Ah. Well, compare it to a television company. They make their money producing the popular rubbish, but every so often they bring in an opera or something just to prove that they're basically very serious-minded people.
You mean nobody will read Lionel's book?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. If we jazz up the cover a bit, people might buy it without reading the actual words inside.
We may have antagonised half the village, but we're well in with the other half.
I thought you waved very regally as we drove away.
Yes, to tell the truth, I felt rather regal.
It's a friend of mine, Mrs. Denise Cropper.
How do you do?
Charming. Very charming. Let's find you a sherry. Have you known Mrs. Copper long, Hardcastle?
It's Mrs. Cropper, Master.
As in came, eh?
What an excellent mnemonic.
Thank you.
Here we are. Dry for you, if I remember correctly, Hardcastle.
Thank you.
And my guess, Mrs. Cropper, is that you're sweet.
You'd have to ask Lionel.
Don't think I shan't. Sly old fox.
Would you excuse me, a guest of mine?
Hello, mate. Done your warm-up?
What?
You know, me. Are you fit?
As I'll ever be, yes. It was good of you to come.
Ah, and not alone. Look who's here.
Surprise!
Hello, Lionel. There's no need to be that effusive.
I'm sorry, I was just, I didn't know you were coming.
Well, that's why I said surprise.
Quite. Well, it is.
What?
A surprise. A very nice surprise, of course.
Well, now we've all established how surprised we are. Any chance of a drink?
Yes, of course.
He's a lively old dog, isn't he?
Denise, I'd like you to meet some friends of mine.
Oh, lovely.
This is Jean Pargeter, an old friend. Her daughter Judith and Alistair Deacon.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello. How old a friend are you, Jean?
Oh, we met 38 years ago.
Oh, good gracious me. You are an old friend, aren't you?
How long have you known Lionel?
Oh, only a couple of years, you know, on and off. We first met when I offered him overnight accommodation, didn't we?
Well, it is nice to see you all.
Overnight accommodation.
He is a man.
I know what sex is. I just thought he was a man with more taste, that's all. Like you. Well, look at her.
I am.
If she gets any closer, she'll be in that suit with him.
Yes.
No? You?
Certainly not.
George Moore, I think, who said a man travels the world over in search of what he needs, returns home to find it. I do not presume to say Mr. Hardcastle travelled to Kenya in search of what he needed, but I am certain that on returning home he will find here a very warm East Anglian welcome. Mr. Lionel Hardcastle.
Thank you, Master. Ladies and gentlemen, my life in Kenya. I first went to Kenya in 1955, because that, of course, was what my generation was brought up to call that.
When did you start slaughtering elephants?
That, of course, was what my generation was brought up to call
When
that.
did you start slaughtering elephants?
Who said anything about slaughtering elephants? In those days, it was a very different...
Answer the question!
Answer the question!
Answer the question!
I was a coffee planter.
Rubbish, we've read the blurb.
What blurb? What are you talking about?
This, a cheap hack from your forthcoming book. One man's fight to conquer a wilderness.
Don't tell us you conquered a wilderness without slaughtering elephants.
Look, I didn't conquer any wilderness. I don't know anything about that.
It's thanks to people like you that my children may never see a wild elephant.
Madam, to the best of my knowledge, there are no wild elephants in Norwich.
If there were, you'd shoot.
Elephant killer! Elephant killer!
You just won the ivory.
Shooting defenceless animals is murder!
Elephant killer! Elephant killer! Elephant killer! Elephant killer!
Look, if you just listen to what I've got to say.
Please! 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 You've got blood on your hands and you know it!
Elephant killer! Elephant killer! Elephant killer! Elephant killer! Elephant killer!
We found that out. We told them. Well,
We told them what we thought of them.
yes, but that's all. We didn't throw people over hedges, and we certainly didn't go berserk with a fire extinguisher.
Well, we know that, dear.
Well, couldn't you let the rest of the village know it?
Oh, I shouldn't think so. They prefer the juicier version. Human nature.
Yeah, but think of all the new friends you've made. It can sometimes take years in a village to do that.
No. Maybe a lion?
No.
My dear fellow, I do apologise. I don't know what got into them.
A few lagers, I suspect. And some ridiculous handbills distributed by a publisher with a mental age of 0.
Now, steady on, mate.
And stop calling me mate.
Hello, Bwana Makuba.
Don't you start.
Well, do admit it had its funny side.
Not from where I was standing.
I did like the floating elephant.
Yes, he was rather cute.
Let's all have a share before dinner, shall we? Where's your young lady, Hardcastle?
She's... I don't know.
Busy doing a retouching job.
There we are.
Look, Master, about my fee.
No, I won't hear of it. Very decent of you to bring it up, but what happened was none of your doing, so I won't hear of you refusing it.
Well, if you insist.
Poor Lionel. They were disgusting. They should be expelled.
It wasn't actually their fault. They were misinformed.
Who by?
I'm starving. What's for dinner, Master?
Chicken, I believe.
Did you shoot it this afternoon?
Let's sit at table, shall we? Nothing formal. Anywhere you like. You sit with me, my dear. Yes, she was a dear old thing, Jessie. 15 years almost to the day that she died. Always remember her last words. Arthur, she said, there's some chops in the freezer. The best hours for your supper tonight. Oh. You ever been married, Hardcastle?
Once we divorced on the grounds of mutual boredom.
Miss Pargeter?
I'm a widow.
Marry one, I hope.
Well, I think at my age, sprightly would be a better word.
Rubbish.
My ex shot himself.
Really, why?
Well, he was always given to the dramatic. That's what I like about Lionel. He's so steady.
Boring might be a better adjective.
Oh, no. Never boring.
What about this pretty thing? Still looking for Mr. Wright?
Well, I've got 2 ex-husbands, so I suppose I must be.
Stock is not one of them.
We could have him at the cottage, but we're away such a lot.
Yes, and I mean, you can hardly expect a pig to self-cater.
Mum, I'll think of something.
Funny, I hadn't envisaged...
You take me and Lionel. We click like mad.
Do you?
We don't see each other that often, of course.
That must be the reason. Absence makes the click grow fonder.
What about a splash more port?
Oh, no, thanks all the same. I think Lionel must be a bit tired by now.
How very perceptive of you, Denise. If you'd excuse us, Master.
Yes, of course.
Actually, I think we'll pop off as well.
We?
I thought we might go back to the hotel for a nightcap.
Oh. Oh, that's a lovely idea, Alistair.
You're staying at the same hotel?
Yes. Convenient, isn't it?
What, you, my dear?
Me? I think I'd like another drop of port, please.
What an excellent idea.
Well, that all works out very nicely, doesn't it? Everyone's fixed up.
That's probably ours. I'll just check.
I'll fetch the car, Lionel, while you say goodnight to your friend.
I didn't know you were coming.
It's not really any of my business, is it?
No, all right, it's not.
Fine.
It is ours.
Coming.
This nightcap.
That's not really any of your business.
No, it's not. You won't get silly, though, will you?
No sillier than you.
Cheers, mate. See you in London.
Don't look so pleased with yourself, Alistair.
Thanks. Now let's talk about you. A to Z.
Alistair, I went from A to J before you were even born.
Who cares? Do you care?
Well...
I don't. Nobody does these days. Attraction is attraction. Full stop.
You should be saying this to Judith.
She's a child.
Yes, I know mine.
God, the next thing you'll be saying is that you're past it.
No, I won't. I'm not past it. It's just a question of mutual attraction, that's all.
No probs. I saw something in your eye when you said yes to a nightcap.
Yes, you did. You saw vanity and stupidity. For a minute, I wanted to get my own back on Lionel. I don't know why. I just wanted to make him jealous. I'm sorry, Alistair, but that was all it was.
Well, it's a starting point.
Well, it was an unusual sort of evening.
I told you you'd be bored.
Oh, I wasn't bored. That Alistair's a card.
Yes, sort that should have black edging round it.
You're in a mood.
No, I'm not.
It's because she came, isn't it?
Will you look at the road?
I wonder why she came.
I don't know. Did you have to leave that ridiculous elephant on the roof?
It's my car.
I know it's your car.
Anyway, it's a bit unusual. Better than a Garfield stuck to the window, isn't it?
Another glass of port, my dear.
Better not. I get silly.
Just a small one, then. You know, you have the most extraordinary eyes.
They're not glazed, are they?
Most certainly not. All the mystery of woman is in those eyes.
Oh, they must be glazed. I'm not mysterious at all.
You're very beautiful.
Rubbish.
Macefield had it, you know. And the loveliest things of beauty God ever has shown to me are her voice and her hair and eyes and the dear red curve of her lips.
That's very sweet of you.
As for those shoulders, by God, if I danced with you on the eve of the Battle of Waterloo, I'd have charged the French dreaming of those shoulders.
You did say you were going to show me round.
So I did. This way, I've some very interesting first editions that may interest you.